Hey, what's up guys? I am doing a little road walking here on old NC 105 in Linville Gorge. Back here for another trip. I've said it before, I'll say it again, probably my favorite spot to hike in the southeast. Today I'm going to be doing the Rock Jock loop on the west side of the gorge, which explains why I'm doing a little road walking. So the loop is comprised of the Rock Jock Trail, Conley Cove Trail, the Linville Gorge Trail, and then the Pinch-In Trail. So I parked at Pinch-In, and there's no trail connecting Pinch-In and the Rock Jock trailhead where I'm starting. So you got to do a short road hike. It probably take you about 10 minutes, not too bad. This is a really good loop option. Just in general, it's a beautiful loop. I've done it one time before. I've never filmed the entire thing. And B, it's a good option if you want to do a loop without crossing the river. Pretty good weather. It's middle of June, about 76 degrees right now. Humidity's not too bad. I might have a thunderstorm roll in, hopefully later tonight when I'm already at camp, but if it hits while I'm on the trail, that's fine. I got my rain gear with me, so. All right guys, so here's the Rock Jock trailhead. As you can see, it's basically just an opening in the woods with a small brown marker. It just starts right on the side of the road here. There's really no parking. There's a small pull off right there you could park at probably, but that's why I chose to park at Pinch-In. Get the road hike out of the way first, and then that way it's done and over with. But even that being said, that road hike, like I said, took about 10 minutes. It might be like a quarter of a mile, I think, so don't let the road hiking scare you off this loop. It's minimal. I'll tell you what, it's warm out here. About 78, feels more like 80 something to me. Not much of a breeze blowing yet, but I'm also in the first portion of Rock Jock where it kind of drops you down a ways, and then you'll start running parallel with the ridge on the west side. But I'm sweating a lot. I can't remember what the mileage for this loop is. I want to say it's like 12 miles or something like that. It's not that long of a loop distance-wise, but it is kind of slow going, so it's definitely something you want to do, I think, personally, as an overnighter at least. You could probably make a 2-night trip out of it if you really wanted to take your time. There's lots to see on the trail here, which I'll be showing you guys some points of interest. All right, here's sort of our first really good view of the trip. Just kind of bottomed out here on the Rock Jock, meaning we've kind of stopped that main descent from old NC 105. Now we'll start heading more parallel with the ridge, like I said earlier. This place never gets old, man. See the river down there? Little bit of a water source here. It's probably only here because of all the rain we've had over the past couple of weeks. I would not count on this being here the majority of the time, and even the way it is now, I really wouldn't want to drink from it unless I absolutely had to. I just stopped real quick to apply some bug spray on my arms. It's really the only part of my body that's exposed. I just found 2 ticks on me already. I've got permethrin on all my clothes and gear, which works amazing. Like, I would do permethrin over DEET any day, but permethrin doesn't really work on your skin, so I put DEET on my arms, even though I hate this stuff. I lived and worked in Kenya for about a year, and all the DEET that we wore when we were over there, that stuff would like melt our gear, and it was crazy. So I try to avoid it when I can, but I'd rather have some DEET on my arms than some tick bites. So this is sort of what the trail looks like when you're tucked back in a little bit, and then it'll spit you back out onto the ledge for some good views. I could be wrong. I'm not really sure, but I think this is what's called Mossy Canyon, or maybe it's coming up in a minute, but there's a little unmarked cave campsite, if you want to call it that, on the trail here. Yeah, that's the thing about Linville Gorge. If you can fit a fire pit in, somebody's going to build one and start a fire. It doesn't matter where it's at. This doesn't seem very practical to me to sleep in, but hey, if that's your thing, go for it. So here's the water source that's marked on the map. Really, I think the only one that's marked on the map, the Linville Gorge map. I just stuck my head under there. Man, did that feel good. I'm going to go ahead and fill up with water here because I'm trying to stay as hydrated as possible. I'm sweating so much. I've already gone through 2 liters. So I'm going to fill the 2 liters back up and then get going again. Nice little view of Short Off out there in the distance. I thought about doing a Short Off overnighter this trip. I've just done so many of them. Not that it really gets old, but I wanted to film something new. I'll tell you what, I have not gone very far, but I've sweat a lot. Last time I did this trail was in the winter. It wasn't very overgrown, and obviously there was no heat. So it's definitely a little more challenging in these conditions. It's nothing too extreme, but it definitely makes you work for it a little bit. Don't be planning an easy stroll through the woods if you're gonna do this trail. Don't bring your 85-year-old grandmother out for a trip to the gorge and try to get her on this, because she won't do very well. Then again, I don't know your grandmother, so maybe I'm wrong. It's hard not to stop frequently and take this all in. The gorge is so pretty this time of year with all the green, the blue and white sky. So the only time I enjoy it more is probably in the fall. All the fall colors. Still moving along here, guys. Sorry for the weird camera angle. I got my arm resting on this tree branch. I just realized I hadn't really gone over what my plan was for this loop. So the idea is I'm gonna camp either at Lost Dog, which is like close to the Conley Cove trailhead, or I'm gonna go down Conley Cove and head south on the LGT and camp somewhere along the river. Haven't really decided yet. I'm gonna see how I feel when I get to Lost Dog. Ideally, I'd like to make it down to the river so I have a shorter day tomorrow, because I really don't want to be hiking up Pinchin in the middle of the afternoon heat. I'd like to be on Pinchin by like 11 at the latest. All right, guys, so here we are at a little turn off to get down to Razor Point and Zen Point, which are 2 places of interest on the trail. There's a little spur trail here that takes you down to them for what I assume are some good views. I haven't been down there yet, but I'm about to check it out. I just wanted to point out the trail. I mean, it's be pretty hard to miss if you're paying attention, but I'm headed north on the Rock Jock here, and then it'll be right on your right down this way. Tiny bit of a water flow when you're getting close to Razor Point on the spur trail there. I'm headed to check out Razor Point. I'm not going to go to both Zen Point and Razor Point, so I just picked one. It's a little steep little climb down. I kept my pack up at the top of the trail, so made it a little bit easier. All right, guys, so this is Razor Point. Pretty good views up and down the gorge. There's more over that way. And of course, like I said earlier, you can build a fire ring. One will be built in the gorge. I mean, yeah, you could camp out here, I guess. You could probably get a hammock up even. Pretty exposed though. And I believe that is Zen Point. That one's pretty cool. I wish I'd gone there instead. It's kind of like out by itself and exposed, but just in the interest of time, I'm gonna head back to the trail. It's 1:30 about. I should be at Lost Dog, I think, by 3:30. And that'll give me some time. I think I'll definitely push down to the river, as you can see down there, and start making my way back towards Pinchin as far as I can. Here's a little water source just before you get to Bean Camp, headed northbound on the Rock Jock. Again, I don't know how reliable it would be year round, but it looks like a pretty big puddle for me, so it seems pretty reliable. I don't know if you can hear in the background there, but it sounds like I got a storm moving in on me. So I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to see what it's gonna do. I might have to hunker down somewhere and get the tarp up quickly. But all I can do at this point is wait and see. All right, so this is Bean Camp. Not sure where it got its name, but it's right along the trail here. Really not much to it, just kind of a small clearing in the woods. I'm kind of sitting here just kind of assessing what I'm gonna do. I can't tell what this storm is doing. The thunder's getting louder, but there's still no ominous wind or anything like that, like it's about to start. Okay, so I decided to keep moving. I just have no way of telling how far away that storm is. I don't want to sit there waiting for it for hours or have it never show up. So I'm at Split Rock point of interest now, as you can see behind me. I'll let you guess how I got its name. So this, I believe, is Blue Jay Falls. There's really not much going on here right now. Might be a good spot for me to get some water though. That storm, that thunder's getting louder and louder. I know I keep talking about it, but that's because it's in the back of my mind. I need water, so I'm gonna stop here and get some. All right, here we are at Hackers Point. Should be able to get a good view of what's going on with this storm. Here. Doesn't look like much, but get some loud rolling thunder every once in a while. Here is Lost Dog Pond, which is basically just a little swamp. Last time I was up here, this was frozen solid. All right, guys, here is a Lost Dog campsite. I camped here one of my previous trip videos about 2 or 3 years ago. It's a hard site to pass up, man. Plenty of room for hammocks and tents. And what makes it special is the view, of course. That thunder in the background is a reminder that I don't want to stay up here this trip, because it's pretty exposed. So you can see way down there is the river, thousands of feet below. That's where we're headed. All right, guys, here I'm inside of Conley Cave. This connector trail from, or social trail, whatever you want to call it, from Lost Dog to Conley Cove sucks. It's completely overgrown and it's really steep. I wish I would have gone the normal way. Okay, I was wrong earlier. This is Conley Cave. I don't know what backwoods cave I was in a minute ago, but it was nothing compared to this thing. It's huge. Huge. What these things are. Just make my way along Conley here. I got a little bit turned around there. By those caves, because I've never used that connector before, so lost about 15 minutes, but I'm definitely going to camp at Camp Conley, I think, at the river. I'm tired. It's hot. Just sitting here, taking a little break, trying to cool down some. I think I started to get a little bit overheated, so I'm not feeling terrible, but I figure I should play it safe. I was just looking at the mileage for today. We've only done 6 miles. It feels like 12. You just can't underestimate Linville Gorge, man. I've done 12, 13 miles in a day before on other trails, like, no problem. Linville Gorge is a different story. It'll take it out of you. It really will. It's nothing like it. Getting pretty close to the bottom of Conley here now. You can hear the river in the background. I made good time on this trail, which I knew I would. Conley is, I would say, widely considered one of the easiest ways to get down to the river, especially on the west side. It's one of the few trails in Linville Gorge that actually switchbacks, and it's pretty smooth, so. Not really much to see on it though. That's why I haven't really been filming much. Once you get past the caves at the top, it's just a walk through the woods. All right, as you can see, we've made it to the water. There's a nice breeze blowing down here. Feels like the temperature dropped about 5 degrees too. This is also getting late, so later, it's 4:30. So I'm gonna head south along the LGT ways here and grab one of these camp spots if they're available. Not too far from this spot right here. Really hard to see him, but I just passed the Copperhead. Here's his body. And his head's right there. I hate snakes. And I came within about 2 feet of them before he moved out of the way. All right, so it's about 4:30 now. Decided I'm gonna push for maybe another hour, see how far I can get. The shorter my days tomorrow, the better, so I'm gonna keep on going. All right, guys, I stopped for another quick break here at this one random campsite on LGT. I planned on staying here, but to be honest, it's not very good. I think all the trees are dead. It's really not a great spot to hang the hammock. So as much as I don't want to do it because I'm so tired, I'm gonna push another, I think it's probably about a mile to a campsite that I stayed at when I did the Is That All You Got loop back in November, I think it was. So there's supposed to be a water source close to here. I'm gonna fill up with water and then push that extra mile, hopefully be to camp by about 6. All right, guys, I made it to camp. I'm not where I thought I was gonna be. I was looking at the map wrong. That campsite that I was trying to get to was way further than I thought. But man, I ended up pushing probably another 2.5 miles. It's 6:20 now. So this is not ideal for a hammock, but I'm gonna make it work because it's really my only option at this point. This isn't even on the map. I just stumbled across it. The next closest campsite's another mile down. It sounds like a storm's coming in again, so I'm gonna go ahead and get set up and then check back in. So I got camp all set up here. Actually, it turned out to be a pretty good hammock spot. The trees I hung by. I was worried about that rock behind, but I got plenty of clearance there, so. It's my usual loadout. The Warbonnet Blackbird XLC, the Wookiee underquilt, and the Mamba top quilt. And then the Thunderfly tarp, which I've got in basically in porch mode right now. So it looks like it could rain at any minute, but it's looked like that since I've got here. So I've been here about an hour now. Nothing so far. Man, I was bummed I didn't get it on camera. I was standing out on this rock right here trying to get a signal with my InReach Explorer, and there were like 6 river otters, if that's even a thing. I don't know what else to call them. That's what they look like, otters. Came running right by, just right by me. So I tried to get the camera out and I thought I filmed it, but I guess I didn't hit the record button. Oh well. Only real wildlife sighting of the day other than that snake earlier. Yeah, that was a tough day of hiking. I went probably a good 3 miles past where I had intended to. I want to say we did around 8+ miles today. I'll have to check the InReach and see exactly. I'm beat, man. I've just been sitting here for the past 5 minutes drinking water and trying to recover some energy so I can make dinner and maybe have a drink. The only real chore I have left to do is hang the bear bag. I don't think I'm gonna have a fire tonight. There's plenty of wood around, but I'm too tired. I think once I eat dinner, I'll probably just want to get in bed anyway. Hopefully, I should sleep good tonight. If I don't, there's something wrong with me. Again, people might scoff, like, oh, 8 miles, you're really that exhausted? And these are 8 gorge miles, which is just different. I don't know how to explain it. You have to just experience it yourself. But so for dinner tonight, I'm going to be doing the potato samosas from Packet Gourmet. I've been doing a lot of Packet Gourmet meals lately. They're pretty good. Sometimes they're a little overcomplicated for my taste, just because I'm lazy. I like to cook everything in one bag and be done with it. Most of these you cook different ingredients separately, including this one. The chutney, although I'm not really cooking it, the chutney you'll just rehydrate with cold water and cook the potatoes. And then I brought long onion tortillas to put the mix in. Also doing a little bit of red wine, although I don't know if I'm going to break into it or not. It just doesn't sound good right now after hiking all day. Normally I would have like a whiskey drink, but... And I'm using my Jetboil this trip, which I haven't done in a long time. Primarily because I was out of alcohol stove fuel and I didn't feel like going to the store. But Jetboil is so much easier and quick and kind of works out for me tonight since I'm feeling pretty tired. Alright, so one thing I didn't get earlier was some more spring water, so I'm filling up and filtering some river water here. I'm going to use that to cook with. I just took the label off the bottle so I know the difference between my drinking water and my cooking water. I've drank the Linville River water before. It's never hurt me before after I filtered it, but I would just feel safer, you know, filtering it, then boiling it and cooking with it and drinking it straight from the filter. Well, the samosas are cooking. The chutney's rehydrating. The tortillas are waiting. And so am I, because I am so tired. Man, I don't know what it was about this trip today. It really just like kicked my butt. I've done similar mileage in the gorge before and haven't felt this tired. I don't know what it is exactly, but either way, I'm looking forward to going to bed. It's 9 o'clock now, so finally getting dark. All right, guys, I'm headed to bed. Dinner was okay. Wasn't crazy about it, but I think that's just because I learned tonight I don't really like samosas that much. It's not a knock on Packet Gourmet, it's just like my own preference and taste. I never really had any. I tried those based on a recommendation from a friend, so I'm already hot. Definitely don't think I'll be using the top quilt tonight. All right, well, see you in the morning. Good morning, guys. It's about 6:45. Just woke up here about 15 minutes ago. Slept okay last night. It wasn't great. I woke up at about 2 in the morning and had trouble really staying down until about 5, and then about 5 o'clock I crashed hard. I didn't want to get up here at 6:30, but I decided I needed to because I want to try to get on pinch-in before the sun gets too hot today. So I'm going to go grab the food bag and have some breakfast. Maybe I'll do some ramen for breakfast since I brought that yesterday and never ate it instead of my cold Pop-Tart. Yeah. So I mentioned in my last video that I was doing the Cafe Bustelo coffee for the first time. I'm doing it again because I like it a lot. I like it better than the Starbucks instant, and it's cheaper. It's about 99 cents for a 6-pack, so I do mix it with some hot chocolate to make it taste even better and give me a little bit of a sugar boost in the morning, but yeah, man, it's good. I recommend it. All right, guys, I'm all packed up and ready to go. I think we got about an hour, probably, if that, till pinch-in, just because I pushed so far yesterday. So that'll give me plenty of time to hopefully get up that thing before the sun comes out and makes it that much more difficult. So here's the campsite where I thought I was going to get to yesterday. It turns out I wasn't that far off. So you come through the trail, there's a little campsite here, but God, I'm covered in spiderwebs. There's a little turn off here. It goes down to the river. Really easy to miss. That's kind of why I like it. It almost doesn't look like there's a trail there at all, but there is. And I'll take you to a nice campsite. Man, it looks like a bomb went off right there. That's right in the middle of the trail. I just ended up climbing over it, but made me stop in my tracks for a second and try to figure out where the trail was. Nice big campsite here, right before you get to pinch-in, heading southbound. All right, so this is the water source on the LGT, right next to pinch-in. I'm gonna fill up one of my bottles with some water just to have on the way up, just in case I'm really desperate. I don't want to carry any more than that though, because I don't want the extra weight.
Do you want to text anybody, Gab?
Could you text? I don't know anybody's number.
Well, guys, I'm headed home, and I'm leaving from the Wolf Pit Trailhead. Why? Because as I was coming down the LGT, I came across 2 hikers sitting there on a log next to where the Pinchin Trailhead intersects, and you know, said hi, how you doing, that kind of thing, and came to find out that they had gotten lost. They were trying to do the backpackers loop from Wolf Pit to basically MST to Spence, LGT to Lead Mine and MST. And basically they had started on Friday and they made it all the way to where Lead Mine intersects the MST, and they couldn't find the trail. So they gave up, camped an extra night, and ended up backtracking towards Pinchin, thinking that they would get up to the road there and possibly find a ride. So they found out that I parked at Pinchin. I told them, you know, yeah, I'll give you a ride over to Wolf Pit, no problem. So the 3 of us hiked up Pinchin together, which, man, that's a brutal hike. We were all hurting, but I just dropped them off at Wolf Pit now. I'm headed home. I didn't really get much video of the hike up Pinchin just because I didn't know if they were comfortable being on camera. I didn't really feel like asking, so I didn't film any of it. But another great hike. I appreciate you watching as always, and I'll see you next time.